Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ser Latino Soy Yo. I am Latinx panel tonight that we're putting on by Albion College and Allegheny College. They'll also be joining us. Thank you for being here, and we are super excited to have you guys joining us tonight. My name is Vanessa Jackson. I am the Intercultural Affairs Coordinator for Albion College, the Smooth Transitions Director, and Umbrella Organizations Advisor. I am Colombian American, and I am currently pursuing my Master's of Education at DePaul University. I'm very excited to have you guys here tonight, and I'm so proud of the students that have worked with us to put this on tonight. Let me go ahead and have them introduce themselves. Jose Chavez.
Hello, my name is Jose Chavez. I am from Allegheny College. I'm a junior. I am from Santana, California. Oh, and I'm the president of Unión Latinx.
Natalie.
All right. Hi, guys. My name is Natalie Corral Gutierrez. I'm also from Santa Ana, California, current student, senior at Allegheny College, majoring in neuroscience, president of Latinos on the Rise here at Allegheny College.
Natalie, smart. And Natalie and Jose, can you guys tell us exactly where you guys are from and tell us a little bit about Allegheny?
Both of us are from Santa Ana, California. Allegheny College is in Crawford County, Meadville, Pennsylvania, basically middle of nowhere on the East Coast, private institution holding no more than 2,000 students.
Thank you guys for joining us and joining us in Albion tonight. Alrighty, can my Michiganders come in? Jose and Stella.
Hello, my name is Jose. I'm the president of OLA here in Albion. I am a second year student. I'm majoring in economics and management and in international studies, double major. I'm from Mexico, and 4 years ago, I moved to Dallas, Texas.
Thank you for joining us. Stella?
Yes. Hi, my name is Stella Santamaria, and I'm a recent graduate from the MFA program at St. Mary's College of California in creative writing. And I was born in LA and I grew up in Miami, Florida. My father's Cuban and my mother is Guatemalan. And I'm living now in Albion, and I am the inaugural Poet Laureate of the city of Albion.
Thank you guys for being here tonight. And we're gonna go ahead and get started with the panel, guys. So we wanted to do this panel just to go ahead and bring up the concept of belonging and identity as a Latinx student or staff member at a PWI. So the first question is, as a Latinx student or staff member at a PWI, how did you feel equipped for the educational materials in comparison to your peers during your first year?
I'm about to go. All right. So the education that I received from at home, it was public based in Santa Ana from a dominantly Hispanic community. I am Mexican background. My parents are Mexican immigrants. But when I came to college here at Allegheny College, I noticed a difference straight off the bat. Coming to a private institution, it was not what I anticipated. I had to put in a little bit more of the work because of some of these obstacles and different views that I got from everybody else. But 4 years later, I did end up where I am at today. And it's all because I had to grind.
For me, I'm also same situation as Natalie, but for me coming in my freshman year, I did notice that heavily because I came here pursuing an engineering major, and at the end I kind of like steered away from that because it was difficult for me. Like it I thought it was gonna be a little bit difficult compared to home, but it was different. I was staying up to like 4 a.m. doing my homework, and I ended up like feeling the imposter syndrome. I didn't even know what that meant until like I talked with someone and they told me that's what I was feeling, because I felt like I didn't belong. You know, it just felt like I should be here. But after that, like now 3 years later, it's much better. I mean, I finally got everything down. You know, you just got to put in the work, and I feel like I got it down.
Stella or Jose, would you guys like to comment on that question as well?
Sure. Jose, do you want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. Okay. I was a first generation student, and it was actually when I first started FIU, because I went to Florida International University in Miami. I had to fill in the gaps myself so far as English and math was concerned. I also went to public schools.
Okay, I think Stella's screen froze, so we're gonna wait for her to join us back in. But Jose, if you'd like to go now, and then I'll go right after.
Sure. Okay. So I also went to like public high school um, in Dallas, Texas. But my previous school, like in Mexico, um, was kind of like private. But when I came here to Avion, it was um, like difference in groups. Now you cannot take like the difference. So it took me maybe like the first 2 semesters to adapt um, to all the groups and the like the relationships that you need to like start building.
Thank you for sharing that. I'd say for me, I definitely relate more to, I'm gonna call you by your nickname, Chavito, with imposter syndrome. That was a big thing for me. When I got into my master's program, I definitely felt like I didn't belong. I didn't have the vernacular that my peers had, and I had to put in extra work. I had to submit everything to the writing center. I had to get tutors. I had to get honestly like a ridiculous amount of help, and I definitely felt bad about myself. I felt like I wasn't understanding things, and I was like, wait, I have a bachelor's degree. Like I graduated from undergrad. Like why am I not getting this? So for me, it was definitely seeing that I didn't have that foundation, that I didn't have those building blocks and tools, unfortunately, from my education background, and just putting, like you said, Natalie, grinding, putting in that extra work, and understanding that thesaurus.com is everything. that was the way I made my sentences sound so smart. So with that being said, I can definitely resonate with not feeling prepared. Alrighty, and we're gonna go ahead with question number 2. As a Latinx student or staff member, how do you feel about how Latinos are racially represented and identified at PWIs?
So I'll start off. In PWIs, they're commonly known to be a little bit more more on white territory. That's what I thought when I was coming into it. And what I didn't anticipate was that a lot of people were not very educated when it came to different cultures. But I could say that for the same with myself. Even though I was in a Hispanic community, I didn't know much about other cultures. And I personally chose to start learning more. So I became well, now I have a minor in religious studies, so I learn more about the culture and religions that are behind other people's ethnicity. I think a lot of these PWI institutions should encourage the learning of different cultures in order to understand people and their perspectives and their opinions. It's a very important thing to really showcase. The Latinx community has had some certain stereotypes that have been placed on them, but I feel like it's because it's with a lack of education and a lack of mindfulness that they need to have obtained. And that's what I'm really going to be trying doing as an active president in my organization.
Thank you for sharing that, Madam.
What I noticed was just that the schools try, they try. I mean, I think they're trying, you know, like for example, we have a lot of diversity clubs in here in Allegheny, and towards Hispanic, we only have two, you know, LR and UL, but I mean, we try to address, you know, every country, not just Mexico. I mean, like, and just like that, I feel like that's what the college is trying to do too. They're trying to amplify the range of like who they're communicating with, and I think they're trying, right? You know, but I think it's just there's a lot of countries, you know, and it kind of may be difficult.
Awesome. I definitely resonate with you, Jose, when I think that the colleges are trying and they're trying to have different clubs and different representation. But also for me, I do feel that we can get pigeonholed in the representation of Latinos, and it can be very much so aimed at Central American culture and not inclusive of all the other identities that are within Latin culture, Caribbean culture, South American. I feel like sometimes that is not included. And unfortunately, like I have to scream like, hey, I'm Colombian. Like, hey, yo soy colombiana.
Yeah, like in Ola right here, like in Avion, we're also trying to get more like an image of other countries in South America and Central America, not just like talking about Mexico, especially because I know we have some international students from Brazil, Costa Rica, Santo Domingo, no, República Dominicana. Eh, so I'm trying to get all of the cultures and traditions from different countries and trying to like express that to other students so we can have a more like a different point or different ideas from other countries. And I think the college is also trying to do that every year, trying to get more people from around other countries or other states.
Awesome. How do you guys think we achieve that though? I hear like a lot of great ideas of how the college is trying to get that representation, how we're trying to find those identities and, you know, be inclusive of everybody, but how do we ultimately push and have progress in those areas?
I mean, with Allegheny College, we have been having a lot of forums and conversations in regards to just the environment around the campus to feel more inclusive in the diversity. We also have now an intercultural panel, which oversees everything multicultural, intercultural, throughout all the silk organizations that we have here at Allegheny College. And I think that's really important. Something that's really important is we have so many silk clubs and for all different types of cultures. And I feel like they should be pushing them a little bit more. On the other spectrum as well, we are also trying to provide some sort of reform as giving teachers basically a lesson plan on how to interact with students, not just Latinx, but also African American, Asian, just to feel some sort of not, I don't even know how to say the word, but just not have a weird experience, I guess.
Like alienation, just feeling like I don't belong, like I'm Latino, please see me. And that's definitely been my experience universally, and also with PWI institutions. It's definitely been me saying like, hey guys, I'm Latino too. I'd like to be included. And you know, I don't look like the traditional Latino that would necessarily be put into the Latinx box at a PWI. So I often have to ask to be in the spaces that technically were created for me. So that's something as a staff member that I have to fight for. So like I said, that progress is necessary, and I appreciate the work that you guys are doing at your institutions to achieve that. And we have Stella back.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Alrighty, Stella. You're fine. If you wanna, the second question that we're currently working on is, as a Latinx student or staff member, how do you feel about how Latinos are racially represented and identified at PWIs?
I think that there should be more diversity. I think some of you addressed that. Not putting everybody in a box. If you're Latino, you're this, or you're supposed to be that. Introduce more activities, I think, would be to make everyone culturally aware. Maybe introduce, like in my case, I'm going to be introducing more poets, Latinx poets, to the city of Albion, more poetry by Latino authors and Latina authors. Did that
Definitely.
answer?
Yeah, definitely. And I gotta put a plug in for Carlos Andres Gomez, my Colombian brethren. He's been to Albion a couple of times, so I hope that you showcase his work. He's amazing, and he's done so many different type of poetries. He's really raw, but he definitely resonates with the Latin experience.
I'll be sharing his work.
So now we can move on to question number 3, which is, as a Latino student or staff member, how do you feel about the assumption that to be Latino enough means you must speak Spanish?
So I think this kind of goes back to the whole alienation that we put these basic stereotypes on Hispanics, that we have to speak fluent Spanish, that we have to, you know, just listen to mariachi type music all the time. But in reality, it's all blood, and it's all what you're embracing in your culture and what you're practicing. It's very familial rooted as well. My family, we are kind of mixed in a sense. My cousin is half African American and half Mexican, and I do not treat her littler than she is. She is my prima, and I will always say it, even though she does not speak Spanish and it is harder for her. I respect her as a Latina, as I would want to be respected as well.
Thank you for that, Natalie.
I believe that I don't think it matters if you speak Spanish or not. You know, like we had a conversation. I was having a conversation with someone. I was saying I feel like it's your heritage, your blood. You know, that's what makes you Hispanic. You know, where your family comes from. You know, because we're in this whole different country, and it just because you're new here, that doesn't separate the fact that your heritage still Hispanic. So that's my response.
Thank you for that, Chavito. So for me, what I'm gonna say is my daughter, she is multiracial. Her father is Polish and African American, and I'm Colombian, and I'm technically mixed too. Because my mom, she is indigenous and Afro-Latino, and my father is an indigenous white Latino. So one thing that I tell my daughter, she claims that she's Latina. That's what she says. She says, I'm Latina. My name is Jayla Jackson, and I'm Latina. And she doesn't speak Spanish. And she also has an American last name, but she is Latino in my eyes and in my family's eyes. And like you said, Natalie, it doesn't matter like if you speak Spanish. It doesn't matter if you're partially American or if you were born in America. What matters is your blood, your culture, and your roots. And we're all connected because we all eat plátano or tortillas. We all have mothers who are calling us all the time. They want to know what we're doing. And we all have, you know, that big brother or big sister who's like in our face, and that grandma. And we all know what a chancla is. So we are all Latino.
Can I answer that question? I grew up in Miami, so I went to bilingual school. So I was forced to speak Spanish and learn Spanish. And then at the middle school level and then high school, so I became a teacher, as also a Spanish teacher. And now on my poetry, I do bilingual Spanglish with my poems. So learning Spanish for me was very helpful, and it opened the doors to a lot more opportunities. And it's easier for me to learn French now and Italian. So, I mean, I was forced to at home. If I dared to speak English in my house, it was not pretty. So I don't know. I was kind of forced to learn. And I like it now. So I don't know. It doesn't necessarily mean like, and I was born in LA, so, but I consider myself Latinx. And my grandmother's Afro-Cuban and my mother's indigenous. So I'm a mix as well.
Thank you for sharing that, Stella. And Jose, if you'd like to share.
I just want to say that I have the same point as Jose Chavez. Like Latino is more like when you have your roots and your culture and you like show them and express that like every day. And like it doesn't matter like if you don't speak maybe your own language, like the home language from like for example Spanish, or it can be another language like indigenous or native. So I think it's just like the way you like live every day, and you like show your cultures and traditions, and maybe like how you relate with your families.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Jose. And that was our last question, but I have a surprise question before we open it up for Q&A. We're a pretty fun group, and we had a lot of fun the first time. So I'm going to ask you guys, what is your funniest like Latino story that you have? Like your mom, your grandma, just something. Share it so that we can share the Ser Latino Soy Yo experience as well.
This is going to be so relatable on so many occasions. It was with my grandmother. So, you know how like, well, I'm a female. I had a quinceañera. So I had like this big photo that my grandma likes to display on the, like in her living room. Let me grab the picture quick. So she had like, say this is the picture on the wall. She literally is like, oh my gosh, Mija, you look so cute. And she's learning technology at this point. She pinches in and tries to zoom in on the picture on the wall. I was like, wait, what are you trying to do? And I called my mom. I was like, Mom, look at what grandma's doing. Because she was telling me she really wants an iPhone. She's like, oh, I want an iPhone so bad. You could teach me. She went up to the wall and just like zoomed in. Like, oh, I like your makeup. Why can't I zoom in?
That's awesome.
I guess for me, I'm gonna say another common one. It's gonna be waking up Sunday mornings to the bookies. Okay. Oh my God, the bookies Sunday morning. You knew you were gonna get up and clean. Like that signal, you're gonna just start cleaning your room. Don't even go outside. Don't even walk out. Clean it before you walk out. You know, it makes you look better in front of everyone. You know, because that's the day you sleep in and everyone's already awake for some reason. So you're just like, well, now I look bad, so I'm late. You know, hearing all the news. Oh, we're gonna go to the swap meet later. You know, like it's Sundays, those best days.
I'll come in. My family, so I love my family in Colombia, and like I keep in contact with them. They have WhatsApp, of course, like that's where we chat at. And this is how hard they go for me. My baby is their like screen picture on their Facebook, on their WhatsApp. Like Latino families go hard. Like they're like, my niece had a baby. That's my I love her. I'm like, you haven't met her yet. No, we love her. You're ours. And I just love that. I love how we just rep our family and rep our people. And like, there is this tie of family that's just so tight in our culture. And I like how we just invented words. We were like, we don't, Facebook, what? It's Facebook. It's Facebook. And Jose, if you'd like to go.
Yeah, so I was from my side, like the family is also very important, and one of the things that we do like every week, it was like to get a reunion like Sundays night, so we just can like play some like board games or talk about like um regular stuff like the week, and we can like eat together like common food, and I really like miss that because it's something that I don't do like anymore until I go back to my country.
Thank you for sharing that. And Stella, if you'd like to share.
I have two nieces. One is named Natalia and the other one's named Sophia, and their mother's Puerto Rican. And my brother's like me. When they call me, they want to do dances for me, and they call me Titi. That's my nickname, Titi. And then the youngest, Sophia, she's 6 years old, and she went to Puerto Rico recently, and she told me, Titi, I try. I don't speak Spanish, but I try, Titi. Do you still love me? So it was really cute that she was trying to learn Spanish, and she went to Puerto Rico and she met the rest of the family. So I thought that was really cute.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And now we'd like to open up for Q&A. So if anyone has any questions for us, go ahead and chime in.
Hi, Vanessa. Hi, everybody. I always do that. So hi, everyone. Good. My name is Lupe Morales, and I work in admissions. I'm an admissions recruiter, and I recruit in Texas and Southwest Michigan. So this is my first time joining. Sorry, I was late. I was making arroz con leche because it's one of those. So, but I guess, if you can tell me a little bit about what the group is all about, how long the group, I think I asked the same question last time, Vanessa, that, when I joined the other group, say what is basically the purpose of the group, just a little bit about the background of this group. So just for my own information.
Oh, this is a panel. So we have some students from Albion. We have Jose Garza, who is the president of OLA. And then we also have students who are presidents of organizations at Allegheny College. We decided to have a panel on what it means to be Latinx with belonging and identity at PWIs for Latinx Heritage Month. So this is us kind of closing off Latinx Heritage Month and being able to showcase our students, but also showcase our staff and also the Albion community. So Stella came in and joined us. Stella is Hernan Buccelli's wife, and Hernan is our VP of admissions. So we wanted to go ahead and talk about Latinx culture and identity, and just invited everybody to come. So if you have any questions regarding that, like, we'd appreciate it. We're all here, we're ready. I see my mentors in here. Y'all not about to ask no questions? You guys are getting smooth transitions, Vanessa, right now. So I see y'all. I would appreciate it if Mr. Neal came on the platform and asked the question. I would love that, Mr. Neal, senior coordinator in the making.
Okay, my question would be, I got this question a lot, being African American at a PWI, like what motivated you besides family to basically go through the obstacles you went to become successful and to basically endure all the obstacles you've been through?
So for me personally, my mom came to this country and she did not know the language. She did not know anyone. She didn't have family really here. And she came to Michigan out of all places. Like my grandpa lives in Miami, but my mom was like, no, I'm going to start a life in Michigan for some odd reason with my kids. And seeing my mom, who worked at a Pop-Tart factory, as a single mom, I felt like I owed it to not just her, but my family back home to just be like, you know what? If my mom can come here and raise 3 kids on her own and work her butt off, like my mom used to work 3 jobs when I was little, then why can't I work and do something different for my family and be able to graduate from college and achieve these things? And that's what motivated me to work in higher ed and to work with students and do what I do now, because I understand what it's like to be that first time student and to take that leap. But I also understand that you are your best investment. And when I walked across that stage, like it was like I had to go in line the day before at 5 a.m. to get 20 tickets for my graduation because my family is big, because we have kids. But my family was there and they were so proud of me, and just to experience that, like, that's priceless.
So I know you said beside family, but I feel like family is what drove me, but in different ways, obviously. So my mom and my dad are from Mexico. They had me at a very young age and couldn't complete their high school, to get their high school diploma. So I was the first cousin, niece, granddaughter. I was paving the way for all my cousins, and my thing was I wanted to show them what our parents wanted to do and what we could actually accomplish, because I'm the first one that actually graduated high school, and I'm the first one that even had stepped foot in a college classroom. My two main motivators, period, point blank, is my brothers. One, he just turned 4 yesterday. The other one, he just turned 8. He's so cute. Look at them. They're little cuties. They all had like their own interesting stuff. I am a neuroscience major, and my youngest brother is autistic. So he is in the autism spectrum, and that has really just been my passion and motivation to really learn more and dive more into the developmental aspects that could be shown in the autistic spectrum. Besides that, I also got family haters. So if they're watching this, I'm here. I'm about to graduate too. It's literally like a love-hate triangle with my relationship with my family, yet they're the reason why I'm even here.
Okay, Natalie, we see you. Let's give her a round of applause. And do any of the other panelists want to chime in on that question?
I kind of relate to what Vanessa was saying. It's like, you know, your family, like my parents came from Mexico, you know, and they didn't have much either. So like, you know, coming up here, you know, they're still in immigrant status. Like they've never been able to get their papers. So they've been here a while though. They've been here like 20 years or more than that actually. Yeah, probably 25, I think. I'm gonna say 25. They've been here like 25 years, you know, and it you see them. I mean, growing up, I saw them. It kind of I saw them like what they went through on the daily, you know, just because having a family, it's pretty expensive, especially if you don't have a job that really like pays you. Like, so that's why that's why a lot of, I feel like a lot of Hispanic people have multiple jobs, just because that immigrant status really, really makes it difficult. I guess I could say for Mexicans in the United States, just because there's a lot of majority. I think a more majority of Mexicans are probably immigrants, because that's the community where I grew around. There was a lot of immigrants. So it that kind of seeing that on the daily, and just like when your parents can't pay a bill or something like that, that makes you wonder. You're just like, they came here, they're going through all this. I feel like there should be a higher purpose for me, and I think, and then school is gonna help me achieve that purpose, you know. And achieving that goal is basically, it goes back to family. It goes back to family. Actually, I think my fire alarm went off.
Did you set it off?
No, I didn't set it off. I don't know. It just set off right now.
This
So
is a known thing in Allegheny.
someone's
This is
cooking
a known
downstairs.
thing in Allegheny. I won't be surprised if my dorm goes off.
Oh my God.
So I'll leave you guys. I'm sorry. I'll take you guys on my phone. I'll connect in a phone. Sorry. But yeah, that's my response. I mean, just your family, I guess. That's my final answer.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Oh.
I have a little bit of a different story. So my dad came here in his 20s, his late 20s from Cuba. He stopped going to school at the age of 9 and to work. So the work ethic in my family was very strong. So, and my mom came to this country to LA when she was in her 20s. So ever since I was born, pretty much, I've been working to help out the family. My mom used to sew at home and babysit. So I used to help babysit and my mom like sew by hand since I was very little. And I started working when I was 13 years old. So, and I haven't stopped. So basically the work ethic, my family, it was ingrained, like you're come to this country to work. So I had that work mentality. So then I wanted to go back and get my master's in fine arts and creative writing. And there, after 20 years of teaching in public schools, and I decided to do that for me. Because nobody else, like, you know, my dad already had passed away, and my mom's like, okay, if you want to do it, go for it. But there wasn't really that support. It was more me. Like my brother didn't understand why I was getting my master's in poetry. My other family members didn't either. Like they didn't understand why I was doing it. So my motivation was me. I wanted to do it for myself because that was my goal, to be a writer, to be a poet.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Stella.
Thank you.
And then Jose Garza, if you'd like to answer this question as well.
Yes. So for me, my family is like the main point for me, like to wake up every day and put all my effort in everything that I do, because like my parents, they went to college, so I'm not a first generation student. But my grandfather, he's an inspiration for me because he was he started a business from scratch, and I think he's like an example for me, like to do that in the future. I also like came 4 years ago to United States, so I also like trying to work to have a better English, because I still have my accent, and I think that's something that I want to work every day and improve it, like so I can like speak a little bit like more fluent, or maybe a little bit with the accent, so people can like understand me better. And also like, because I am the only like person from my family, from my entire family, that I'm studying in college in United States. So I think it's an example. I am also like a motivation to all my cousins and my sisters that are in Texas and in Mexico.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Jose. If Anthony, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Can you answer the question for yourself? I have to showcase him because Anthony is an exceptional young man, and he's brought so much to Albion since he's been here. I met him last year as a freshman, and just to see his growth, I have to have you answer your own question right now. Anthony, can you join in on the panel?
Yeah, I can. My motivation besides family kinda is like my younger siblings. I grew up faster than most kids. You know, I had crazy responsibilities at a young age. So I always been that model or that person to just be there for my family all the time. I kind of always been a role model. Basically, since I was born, I kind of was always the golden child, the child to do this, the first child to do that. So I kind of use um, basically good energy and a lot of responsibilities that I went through. So I basically use my success in college as basically a reflection of how I grew up. So I grew up kind of crazy. So I embrace everything that I have. Every obstacle I've been through, I faced it on my own. So I really embrace kind of what Stella said. Like I use me as motivation. So I kind of use myself as motivation to basically wake up every day and to have fun with everything I do. So that's it.
Thank you for sharing that. He's gonna be a future lawyer, y'all, by the way. Making change in the world. All right, so if anyone else would like to ask a question, I might just call on another mentor I have in here. Mr. Sawyer. Jason.
No, I'm here. Look,
Can we see your beautiful face as well?
I was just talking. I said, look, I was already knowing it was coming. But hello, and thank you all for sharing. I really appreciate y'all.
Thank you for being safe on campus.
You know how I go, and I'm handling business 6 feet social distancing with my mentee. You know, best mentor around. No, I'm just playing. Our program is the best program around. But my question that I have for the panel is, how difficult? Here I go. I'm back. How difficult or easy was it for you to establish that Latinx community on your campus, and how were you able to sustain a network that provided you security and made you feel like you belong?
So that's something where I realized that our school was lacking my freshman year. My freshman year, we did have only one organization, which is the organization that Jose is president of now, Union Latinx. However, I didn't even feel welcome nor safe, nor that I could practice my own identity at that case. Then that following year, I met up with a group of people and we then founded Latinas on the Rise. Which is more designated to a safe place for Latinas, because we noticed that there was a lack of women of color safe places on the campus. Following along with us, we did also establish Black Girl Magic, which did provide this sense of woman self-empowerment and just a comfortable atmosphere where we could talk amongst each other and just practice and everything like that. It is still a struggle at these PWI institutions to be understood and practice the way that we would want to and embrace our culture. It is going to be steady growth, but I feel as though we have definitely paved the way, not just, you know, Allegheny College, but all these other colleges during these difficult times of, you know, just a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of people are really putting in their time and effort. For example, during this Hispanic Heritage Month, we probably would only had 2 big events, but since COVID came about, what I decided to do instead was, let's do events, but I'm also gonna make videos so you can learn about the food that we eat, how we make it, the ingredients that we be put in, what this even means to us. On top of that, we had a bachata workshop. We literally taught you how to make it, how to do it, and why we love it. Like it's all that, like this aspect of just opening people's mind to realizing that cultures are just so diverse and not just so narrow-minded in a sense. It's gonna be a struggle, but after some time, we paved the way for the younger generation to just build off from where we started from.
So as I said before, like in Ola, like we were like lacking of more like diverse cultures and countries. Like we were more focused on only like Mexico, and I think that's the main difficulty to do this. Like when I'm right here, like in as a president, like try to like express the culture and diversity because I'm like as a president, I don't know much about other cultures and traditions. So when I'm doing an investigation, I try to do what I can do, but I also like lack maybe of information that only like the person that is from that country can express. So that is why I'm also trying to invite students. For example, like we have a student from Venezuela, and he did a presentation in our meetings, so everybody can know more about how is to be a Venezuelan. So I think that's the more focus of OLA right now, to express diversity in all the Latinx community, and I think we are achieving that step by step.
Would any other panelists like to chime in?
What was the question again?
The question is along the lines of how did you, or how do you, or rather, if you do not, establish or found a niche on your campus or even in the workspace, because I know we have some faculty on our panel, that allowed you to feel like you belong in these PWIs or these spaces where our image is lacking.
I don't know if Natalie mentioned this part. I kind of just heard the ending of her part, but I was part of the NAC. It's called Nicholas Academic Centers, and it was like, it's a big thing back home in Santana, because it promotes like for more Hispanic students and anyone actually, in reality, anyone to pursue higher education. And thanks to them, I actually came here. And I mean, like they showed me this door of like college and stuff like that. Actually, to my sisters too, because I have two older sisters. They went through the whole process, and I was lucky enough for them to have gone first, and then me. But they went through this whole process, and with the NAC, like we came to different colleges all around the country, and we kind of came in groups, you know. And I mean, like I know that's kind of sort of, I don't want to say bad, but like, I mean, we don't want to get used to the habits of just hanging out with one group, you know, like when you could spread around, talk to more people. But just knowing that that group was there, you know, like it kind of made you feel a little bit better. Because, you know, being just right across the country, you know, from like Cali to Pennsylvania, um, that just really felt kind of different. And having that little group of people kind of made it feel a bit better. And I mean, we like Nat's part of NAC, so like that's another way I know her more from back home, because we're from the same city, but I've never like, we didn't go to the same high school, so that, you know, this program allowed us to connect, you know. So I'm glad it did. And coming here to Allegheny, I mean, majority of the students, there was a big portion of the students that were part of the clubs here from UL. And so with all those people being involved in UL, that encouraged, like that made me want to pursue being part of that club. So anyone that's Hispanic or anyone that wants to learn about Hispanic culture could come in and see everything.
Thank you for sharing that, Jose. For me, what I'll say is my students make me feel like I belong on campus. It's that simple. I have the best job ever. I get to work with you guys and put your ideas to work and advocate for you guys. And honestly, if it wasn't for y'all, like, thank y'all. Thank you guys for coming every day and just doing your best. And I'm just grateful for y'all. You guys make my job easier, and you guys make my job worth it for sure. So what we're gonna do now is go ahead and wrap up this panel. Before we wrap it up, I wanna say thank you to all the panelists for joining us. Thank you to Allegheny College. Thank you to Stella for joining us as well, to Jose Garza, our student and president of OLA at Albion. Thank you for all the students who are here tonight and staff. Thank you guys for joining us. And thank you to my mentors, Jason, Anthony, Lauren, I see you here. Thank y'all for being here. And if the panelists have any final words, I'd like to open up the floor for y'all.
I mean, just thank you in regards to Allegheny College. We are very much appreciative that you guys gave us this opportunity to just speak on our experiences here at the PWI institutions. If anyone wants to contact us to know more about our organizations, feel free to go ahead and email me and Jose, and we hope to, talk to you guys more in the future.
And if the panelists can drop their emails in the chat so that people can have that, that'd be great.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for coming too. I mean, I just enjoyed talking, like having these conversations. I find them pretty entertaining because, I just like to listen to people's stories. I just like listening to different stories. I mean, it just makes I don't know. I'm interested a lot. It's interesting to see what people go through. Because everyone has different. We all have different. I mean, I guess some moments are kind of the same, like the Sundays, but we all go through a different path, and I just want to say thank you guys for listening to all of our stories. I hope you guys enjoyed them. I'll drop my email in the chat too.
I wanted to say thank you so much for having this and this space and this time for us to share. Thank you. Thank you for participating and thank you for being here. Thank you.
I also want to say thank you for giving my opportunity to express my situation, and I hope to see some students more around all events and in the future. Thank you.
Thank you guys for being here tonight, and I hope that you guys have a great rest of your night, a great week, and goodbye, all my beautiful people.
Thank you, everyone.
Y'all have a blessed day. Thank you panelists for being so amazing and sharing y'all story.